let's use that as a segue and talk about the game on Sunday. The 70 points to 20 game against the Denver football team, because I'm not calling them the Broncos anymore, because from now on, until I see a change in the Denver football team, they will now be called the Denver My Little Ponies, because they are not Broncos. They are a sham at the moment. And I know I know if you're thinking it's from a Seahawks fan, I'd say, oh, it's all Russ's fault. This game wasn't even on Russ. Russ didn't even have that bad of a game. That defense that just gave up. I'm very, very surprised that the defensive coordinator, Vance Joseph, is still in a job today, especially after that performance. But not even just that, but giving up 30, was it 35? Giving up 35 points to the Commanders the week before, and then letting what we've seen subsequently, a shit Raiders team to outscore you as well. And it's not as if they have a load of bums on that team. They have some really, really good players, especially up front with the likes of Randy Gregory. In the backfield, with, of course, Patrick Surtain and Justin Simmons, but I don't think Simmons was available on Sunday. It's still not an excuse. But that team gave up, man. And from now on, the My Little Ponies are going to be called the My Little Ponies until I start seeing a change in attitude, some wins, and to start seeing a Broncos team that a My Little Ponies team that deserves to be called the Broncos again.
I think that's disrespectful to My Little Ponies. I think they'd do a better job. Yeah, no, it's crazy. It's crazy. And I think the main thing that I'm worried about now is that locker room moving forward. I don't know if you guys saw the interview. I think it was with one of their offensive linemen. I think it was Bowles, was it?
Garrett Bowles.
He goes,
yeah.
He goes, I'm tired, man. I'm tired of losing. All I've done since I came here is lose. And if he, as a leader in that kind of offensive unit, is saying those things, that's going to permeate throughout the whole team, and there's going to be a very, very bad atmosphere going there. It may end up that we don't see this Denver team winning many more games this season. That I might cap them at 3 for the entire season.
Yeah, someone asked in the chat the other day, the 17-18 Browns or this Broncos team. I think the 17-18 Browns that went 0-16 smoke this fucking team. It's pathetic. Like, they just don't, it looks like they don't care. They're just, the offense has been trying, and Russ isn't without like blame, but you know, he's been playing well, and the offense looks, you know, they look all right, but that defense, they look anemic. It's just I don't know how to explain it. I've never seen anything like it. Like
they've lost something in that defense, man. It's not the same defense from before the rush trade.
No, but that's the thing.
Not.
Like you had a Giro Evero last year who was a good defensive coordinator last year, but the talent is there. I mean, they should be good at least, or like, you know, mediocre, but they're I don't get the regression.
Just let me throw this at you, and before Robert, I'll bring you in. What's always said around the league is teams that spend big in free agency show how desperate they are. For years, it's been the Jaguars that they spent big in free agency, and those players that go for the big contracts, once they get the contracts, you know, maybe the performance level drops a little bit. And they did spend a lot in free agency last year. They spent a bit this year as well. And it could just be the case of bringing in the wrong players, wrong type of players.
Could be. It could be for sure. But yeah, I mean, that's historic. I mean, 70 plus points. I think someone said that's only happened 4 times, and the last time it happened was like 50 years ago or something. I mean, I mean, I think, look, I said it earlier in the week. I think Sean Payton's job is safe because of what the Broncos have tied up in him. But his chair should be feeling mighty fucking warm right now. And Vance Joseph should be out of a job. He should be gone. The fact that he's still there is just, I think they're trying to keep it together there, but I don't think that's going to work.
Yeah.
Just to flip it over to the Dolphins side of the ball, I think it's disrespectful to them to talk solely about the Denver Broncos in this game. They were exceptional. Oh, sorry, My Little Ponies. They were exceptional in this game, and I really liked the kind of how the team kind of dealt with the situation. You know, you can pull your starters in the fourth quarter, and that is what they did, to be fair, but they also had the chance to put up that record 73 points. And in an interview afterwards, McDaniel said, that's not what we're about. We're not about disrespecting or humiliating opposition teams. It's also not what chasing records is not what this is about. The Super Bowl is what they want at the end. So putting up a historic victory during the season doesn't mean shit unless you get to that final stage. So I really like the mentality that they have going forward.
Rob, what are your thoughts on Sunday's game?
It's just like in general, two completely different ball clubs. I mean, the Broncos had a lot of, they thought, man, the division is wide open for a wild card spot. The only team you sort of have to go against is the Chargers. But if you look on player by player base, you wouldn't really think the Chargers are that much different than the Ponies. And it's just two different. There's something going on in that organization that just is not clicking. Either it's Russell and Sean Payton, or it's just Sean Payton and the players. It's just a team doesn't lose by 22-70 for it's just another game. And the thing is, when the Dolphins pulled their starters and put in the backups, they still scored. Like Denver didn't pull their starters. That's the biggest thing. It was like when the team puts in their backups, the game is finished and you still can't stop it. Like Chosen Anderson, came up from the practice squad, I think 3 days before the game, and he had a 70-yard touchdown on him. And
it's Robbie Chosen
against
It's Robbie Chosen now. He's changed it again.
Well, whatever his name is, he changes it every week.
This week it's Robbie Chosen. Yeah. Next week it could be back to Anderson.
And it's but that was against Patrick Surtain, and that's their best corner. If your best corner is getting smoked by a practice squad player, something's not right.
Yeah, I think that just lends to the fact as well that the team just gave up, and just didn't care that he got burned.
It certainly looked like it. Does anyone want to take a guess onto how many total yards of offense the Miami Dolphins had?
I saw this. It was like 760.
726 total yards.
And that was split evenly as well.
Devin Achane had 200 yards rushing. Raheem Mostert had 142 all-purpose yards. Tyreek Hill had 157 receiving yards. And then, a couple of 60s and 68s and 66. What this was a very good NFL team playing a Division III college team.
Yeah. Although there was some chats, obviously around sort of the AFI sort of side of things, and people were trying to make the argument that even an AFI side could have done something against the Broncos on Sunday. But then one of the lads who plays for the Rebels put up photos of when they played a Division III high school team, and they lost 102-0. Yeah. That's why we had to ask the question: was it pre-Ty Henry or was Ty Henry?
Yeah, that was pre.
Pre-Ty Henry. Rebels are two completely different things, man.
For sure.